coming back after 50 years, I'm just delighted to see the same enthusiastic students and excitement they have and how they praise the school. What they are getting out of it, aside from their specific major, is something that I felt I got out of it that carried me as much as anything. And there are 4 principles I'd mention. 2 are communications. Speaking, oral communications, I took speech classes and seminar classes. Also written communications, and in those 2 I've lectured around the world and I've published a book on my field that is one of a kind. A 3rd area is logical thinking, the way to sort through issues and problems and be able to sort them out. And the 4th is ability to get along and work with others. All of these things I had a very strong foundation from while at Loras. I started out as a chemist based on my education here, got a PhD, and now I work for a law firm. So how did that happen? The laws didn't even exist when I was here or even in graduate school. Well, the reason is the basics that I learned here, the oral and written communication skills, analytical skills, all serve me well. And of course I have to work with lawyers, and not to mention clients, which are major chemical companies. So I think those things are things you still get out of Loras. It all begins with Monsignor Schulte, who was a real Renaissance man. I mean, he taught navigation to World War II pilots, of all things, and his chemistry. Later on, in retirement, he became a gourmet chef, and he taught cooking school. I used to get to go over and have dinner with him. He's the one that got me into it, but almost immediately I began taking courses from Ken Krause. He was brand new, also from Berkeley, in what would have been about 1960, and I took my first organic chemistry course from Ken, and also did subsequent summer research programs under NSF grants in a couple of years. So I had very close contact, and still do. I will, in fact, see Ken for dinner tomorrow night. So those were 2 of the really big ones. Other people in the chemistry department, of course, were influential. Florian Stork was a very long renowned professor of analytical chemistry. Father Robert Doler, Father Dolter, was my first teacher, and I took my very first chemistry course ever as a freshman at Loras from Father Dolter. And as we got through the course, he called me aside and said, "You know, you could get a PhD." And I was stunned. It had never occurred to me. My father has a master's degree in English, but to think in terms of a PhD, and that was really drove me then to move into that area. So those were the main ones that influenced me.